Welcome to your figurative language lesson. Today we're going to be covering what figurative language means, and we're going to talk about similes and metaphors. So please make sure that you have your headphones, a pencil, a pink and yellow highlighter. During the lesson, please make sure that you follow along with me. What I do, you do. When you are done with the doodle notes, you're going to put them in the turn-in bin so I can verify and check that you have completed this lesson with me. This is not the only lesson you're going to get on figurative language. This is the first one we have to go over. This could be a brand new lesson for you if you're in 4th grade, or a hopefully review for 5th and 6th grade. So your objective is, at the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain the different types of figurative language an author can use in a poem or text. And throughout the whole year, you are also going to be the author, and I want you to start using figurative language in your writing, and I want you to be able to identify it and explain the figurative language. So let's get started. Make sure that you have your headphones on. You need to be listening and following along with me. Your doodle notes are fill in the blank, so what I write, you write. Let's get started. Figurative language goes beyond the literal meaning of words. Is the use of words beyond what they usually mean, is meant to be interpreted imaginatively. Writers use figurative language to create vivid pictures, ideas, and feelings in the reader's mind. You are the reader. Figures of speech, such as, we're going to be going over similes today, metaphors. Then in the following lessons, you're also going to fill out the doodle notes on personification, onomatopoeias, alliteration, and hyperboles. But today we're going to just focus on similes and metaphors. So please have this written down, and you can pause at any time. How to understand figurative language. This is what you have to do. Look for clues in the reading passage to help you figure out the author's message. There is a reason for the author including figurative language, and remember, that is to create a vivid picture, idea, and feeling in your mind as you read. The clues might be in the sentence where the words are found, or just before or after the figurative language. Make sure that you have this written down. So clues might be in the sentence where the words are found or just before or after the figurative language. So now I want you to get your simile and metaphor notes. And I want you to get your highlighter. So on your notes, what I do, you do. A simile compares two things using the words like or as. With your yellow highlighter, I want you to highlight the word like. And with your pink highlighter, I want you to highlight this word. Remember, a simile compares two things using the words like or as. Your examples are happy as a clown, and get your pink highlighter. This is your clue word. But there's a misconception. Just because you see the word like or as, it doesn't mean that it's a simile immediately. It has to compare two things, and this is your connecting word. This is your clue. So what is the first thing that's being compared? Happy as a clown. He is happy as a clown. So we have, I want you to circle and put a 1 next to this pronoun he. That means they are comparing this person, a boy, to a clown. So circle the word clown. We always need two things being compared. He's being compared to a clown with the clue word as. So make sure that you have this circled, labeled, and highlighted. Your second example, they are like two peas in a pod. Our clue word is like. They are comparing these two people. This is the contraction word, they are. That's how you read it. So one thing is being compared to peas in a pod. This is the second thing that's being compared. So they are comparing those two people to peas in a pod. One, two things being compared using the clue word like. Then our last example with an illustration is cute as a puppy. And then write the word she is. She is cute as a puppy. So they're probably comparing a little girl being cute as a puppy. Our clue word is the word as, and we have to highlight it. And then we have to identify what two things are being compared. So she and a puppy. So once again, please have this on your paper. He is happy as a clown. Our clue word is as, and this boy is being compared to a clown. They are like two peas in a pod, using the clue word like, but they're comparing two people to two peas in a pod, meaning they're identical. She is cute as a puppy. The little girl is being compared to a puppy with the connecting the clue word as. Here are your illustrations. Remember, illustrations are drawn by an artist. Now let's look at our other examples. So please write this with me. Her hair was like silk. So what two things are being compared? We have this girl, because we know that the pronoun her signifies that this is a girl, is being compared to silk, like a fabric, meaning her hair is soft. So that's the meaning behind the simile. And then we have our clue word like. Make sure you highlight it with your yellow highlighter. Then we have my class was excited as kids at Disney World. They're comparing my class to kids at Disney World. So my clue word is as, and we have to identify what two things are being compared. So the class is being compared to kids at Disney World. So once again, your simile recap. Similes compare two things using the words like or as. Remember, two things. Now let's look at metaphors. Metaphor. A metaphor compares two things by stating that one thing is another. And our clue words, so we're going to write this down. Our clue words are is and was. Those are our clue words. So similes use like or as, metaphors use is and was. So I want you to get your highlighter. I want you to highlight the word was with your pink highlighter and the word is with your yellow highlighter. And I did this so it doesn't smudge like it did on the previous one. Let's look at our examples. So metaphors compare two things by stating that one thing is another. He is a lobster. I want you to use your yellow highlighter to highlight the clue word is, and we have to identify what two things are being compared. So he, that's a pronoun, meaning it's a boy, is being compared to a lobster. That's a second thing, and here's the illustration. Her heart was gold. We have our clue word was. They're comparing the girl, her, to gold. Is a black hole. Sadness. Make sure that what I do, you do. It's a black hole. And your clue word is. And they're comparing sadness to a black hole. And that's your illustration. But let's go back. What do you think this metaphor means? So let's look at the illustration with his hands. So if they're comparing a boy to a lobster, they're saying the boy has big hands. If they're comparing the girl's heart to gold, that means she's really good and she cares about others, super pure. If they're comparing sadness to a black hole, they're comparing that they're both very dark and depressing. Look at the little sad face. Make sure that you write these more examples with me. My puppy. This is going to be the first thing that we're comparing. Is a wild beast. Don't forget your period. I'm going to circle my clue word is. This is a metaphor. They're comparing my puppy to a wild beast, meaning this puppy's destroying things maybe, very vicious, very dangerous. Then I have my sister. So that's my first thing that I'm comparing. Is my clue word that this is a metaphor. Is a princess. And princess is the second thing. So they're comparing my sister to a princess. A metaphor compares two things by stating that one is another. So similar things. Your clue word is. So my sister's a princess could mean that she's spoiled, she gets her way. So at this time, please make sure that you have your notes filled out. A simile compares two things using the words like or as. Remember, don't confuse them. Similes use like or as, and metaphors A metaphor compares two things by stating that one thing is another. Your clue words are is and was. So they both compare things, but similes use like or as, and metaphors use the clue words is and was. Please make sure that you have your notes filled out. Thank you for following along with me. Turn in both of these papers to the turn-in bin. Make sure your name's on both papers as well. And thank you for watching.